Welcome, deep divers. Can you hear that? Those, almost ethereal, slightly fractured guitar sounds, shimmering with something just, well, just beyond our grasp.
Yeah.
That's the kind of sonic landscape we're stepping into today. I'm your guide, and we're about to embark on a deep dive into a piece of music history. It might seem a bit niche at first glance, maybe,
Right.
but its unique influence really resonates through decades of groundbreaking music.
And our mission, as always, is to really uncover the full story behind these foundational pieces of digital effects tech. We want to understand the impact,
Yeah.
and appreciate its unique character, even comparing it to today's standards. Our incredibly curious learners shared some really intriguing material about one particular stomp box,
Oh, yeah.
and we're going to unpack why it was so groundbreaking.
Okay, let's hear it. Today, we are diving into the Boss PS2 pitch shifter delay, a pedal that, as this material reveals, was genuinely ahead of its
It
time.
really was.
Get ready for some serious sonic archaeology.
Let's dig in.
Okay, so let's unpack this. The material our learner provided describes this pedal as the very first compact pitch-shifting pedal Boss ever created. Now, that's quite a bold claim for a little unit.
It is.
So what is the Boss PS2 exactly? When did it first appear on the scene, and what specifically made it such a big deal back then?
Okay, so it hit the market in 1988. Produced for a relatively short run, too, only until 94.
Interesting timing.
Yeah, and what's fascinating is when it came out, it was right at the tail end of Boss's digital breakthrough era. This was a period when they were really pushing boundaries, things like the DD2 digital delay, the RV2 reverb.
Ah, those icons.
Exactly. And the PS2, it truly pushed the limits of what you could cram into a standard compact enclosure.
Yeah.
They combined two powerful digital effects, pitch shifting and digital delay.
Wow.
I mean, imagine a single stomp box in the late 80s that could not only give you echoes, but also shift your guitar's pitch. That was incredibly advanced stuff.
Yeah, no kidding.
It wasn't just another effect. It was this compact powerhouse that opened up entirely new sonic avenues.
So, if it was combining these two powerful effects, what did that mean for a musician plugging it in back then? How did it actually change their approach to making sound?
Well, it meant a complete paradigm shift for many. I mean, picture yourself as a guitarist in 88. You've played with the usual delays, maybe some chorus.
The standards.
Right. And suddenly you stumble upon this one compact unit. You could detune your single notes into this almost like robotic shimmer,
Ooh.
or create these echoing, self-oscillating pitch shifts that sounded truly alien. It wasn't just another effect to add to the chain. It was a sound design tool.
A tool, right?
Yeah. For a lot of players, it was the first time they could create these really rich, ethereal soundscapes or maybe aggressive, glitchy textures right there at their feet.
Without needing a huge rack setup.
Exactly. No expensive, complex rack gear needed for these kinds of sounds. It just unlocked this new kind of creative freedom, giving players access to a palette of sounds that felt, well, almost futuristic back then.
That's quite a feat for a single stomp box from that era. So it was essentially two pedals crammed into one.
Pretty much, yeah.
How did that combination actually work in terms of its modes? Let's break down that dual nature for you, the listener. First up, the pitch shifter part. What could it actually do for a guitarist?
Right. So the pitch shifter section gave you fixed pitch intervals. Typically, it was like plus or minus 1 octave, maybe a fifth, maybe a third. It depended on the mode you selected.
Okay. Fixed intervals.
Yeah. And it's important to know it was monophonic, meaning it didn't track chords very well.
Ah, okay, so single notes mostly.
Mostly, yeah. But rather than being a limitation, that often became a desirable trait.
It's interesting. How so?
Well, it was highly usable for single-note lines. You could create these specific kind of intriguing effects like detune or doubling, even harmony-like sounds, if you were careful.
Right.
Think of it like adding this sort of robotic voice, or maybe a subtle wavering shimmer to your lead lines. It just opened up a whole world of texture for solo parts.
And the other half of this dynamic duo, the digital delay, the notes mention it had a clean but somewhat grainy 12-bit resolution by modern standards. Clean but grainy that almost sounds contradictory.
It absolutely does. And that 12-bit resolution, that's actually a crucial detail to understanding its character.
Okay.
So the digital delay offered up to around 2 seconds of delay time. Again, it depended on the mode you chose.
2 seconds is pretty decent.
Yeah, for the time, definitely. That 12-bit resolution meant the delay was certainly cleaner, had less signal degradation than the older analog BBD Bucket Brigade device delays.
Ah, the BBDs. Yeah, warm but kind of murky sometimes.
Exactly. They often introduced a lot of warmth, but also a fair bit of grit. The PS2's delay, though, was also darker and less pristine than the higher fidelity digital units that would come later.
So it had its own texture.
It really did. A distinct sonic fingerprint. And that became part of its charm. And of course, it had a regeneration control, the feedback knob.
Right, for the repeats.
You could dial in those wonderfully repeating echoes, letting them build up or just fade away naturally.
So you had these two distinct effects packed in there. How did players actually control them? The specs list, balance, fine, pitch delay time, feedback, and a mode selector. Can you give us a quick rundown? What were those knobs doing?
Certainly. The balance knob, that's pretty straightforward. It lets you mix your dry signal, your guitar sound, with the effect. So you could choose how much PS2 you wanted in your tone.
Wet dream mix, basically?
Basically, yeah. Then the fine control, that was for the more subtle adjustments. Really crucial for creating nuanced detuning or those chorus-like sounds, adding just a delicate shimmer instead of a big pitch jump.
Okay, subtle tweaks.
Exactly. Pitch delay time was a versatile one. Depending on the mode you picked, it would either set the course pitch interval when you were in pitch shift mode.
Like the octave or the fifth.
It's right. Or it would determine the length of your delay time when you were in delay mode.
Got it. And feedback. That's for the delay repeats.
Mostly, yeah. It adjusted the number of delay repeats, or, interestingly, the intensity of pitch regeneration in some modes, letting you get those swirling, building effects that could, almost border on self-oscillation if you pushed it.
Fun. Okay, and the last one, the mode selector.
That was your main gateway, really.
Right.
It let you switch between all the different pitch shift and delay ranges. It fundamentally altered the pedal's core function and just opened up different sonic territories with each click.
Okay, this is where it gets really interesting for me. Let's talk about the sound itself. Our learner's notes describe the pitch shifting using words like grainy and glitchy. Can you paint a picture of what that actually sounded like? And I'm really curious, how did something that sounds, well, imperfect become so beloved?
Absolutely. And yeah, the pitch shifting on the PS2 was notably grainy and glitchy compared to the, perfectly clean shifts we might expect today.
Right, like a modern harmonist pedal or something?
Exactly. It
Yeah.
wasn't pristine. It was almost fractured, maybe,
Mhm.
a bit unstable,
Yeah.
especially if you pushed the settings. It wasn't trying to give you transparent pitch correction. It was doing something raw, almost mechanical sounding.
Uh-huh.
But here's the fascinating part, that contradiction you mentioned. Rather than being seen as a flaw, this very imperfection became part of its unique charm.
So people liked the mistakes?
Kind of.
Mm-hmm.
Musicians embrace this distinct sonic fingerprint, these subtle errors or glitches. And when you combined both effects, that characteristic pitch shift with the characterful digital delay, you could create these truly otherworldly textures.
Wow.
This wasn't about pristine replication at all. It was about sonic exploration, about creating something entirely new. Imagine you're a guitarist, maybe in a dimly lit studio, messing with this pedal for the first time.
Yeah.
You might be expecting a clean pitch shift, right?
Yeah.
But instead, you get these almost robotic, fractured harmonies. And instead of putting it down thinking it's broken, you realize, wait, this isn't broken. This is new.
Ugh, the light bulb moment.
Precisely. This unique tonal character became beloved, especially in those nascent genres like shoegaze, experimental music, early alternative rock, artists who were actively seeking new soundscapes.
That's a brilliant way to put it, turning a technical bug into a creative feature. It really speaks to the ingenuity of musicians, doesn't it?
It really does.
It sounds like this pedal was way more than just a tool. It was almost an instrument for sonic sculptors. For artists looking to push the boundaries of what a guitar could even sound like, it became, as the material suggests, a secret weapon.
A perfect description.
So what kind of artists were the first to really grab onto this and use its power to define their sound?
Well, what's fascinating is how specific artists found such a powerful voice in its quirks, rather than being put off by its limitations.
Like who?
Kevin Shields of My Bloody Valentine is probably the prime example. He's widely known for using its pitch shifting, and some say its reverse delay-like textures live. It was definitely part of shaping that iconic wall of sound that defined shoegaze.
Ah, of course. Makes sense.
Yeah, it was also a go-to for many experimental guitarists within the shoegaze and noise scenes, and for early alternative rock bands who were searching for unique textures in that pre-Eventide Stompbox era.
Right, before tiny pedals could do super complex stuff easily. For listeners, Eventide made these incredibly powerful, high-fidelity studio effects, usually big rack units, right? Long before compact pedals got this complex.
Exactly. So these musicians were actively pushing boundaries. And the PS2 provided this palette they simply couldn't find anywhere else in a compact pedal format at that time. It wasn't about being perfectly clean.
It was about being different.
Distinctly different and inspiring.
So it wasn't about being universally popular, like, say, a tube screamer or a Boss chorus pedal, maybe.
No, not at all.
But about being uniquely essential for a certain, very influential sound. For you, the listener, just imagine being a guitarist in the late 80s, trying desperately to create a sound no one had heard before. This pedal was like a literal gateway.
The gateway, yeah, to entirely new sonic dimensions. Incredible. And the PS2, it wasn't just a one-off thing. It actually laid the foundation for a really significant lineage for Boss. It kicked off a whole series of pitch-shifting pedals that would follow.
Wow, I didn't realize it started such a long line.
Yeah.
Can you walk us through its successors? The notes mention the PS3, the PS5, and the current PS6. How did they build on what the PS2 started? How did that concept evolve?
Absolutely. So after the PS2, which ran, as we said, from 88 to 94,
Right.
came the PS3 pitch shifter delay. That was from 95 to 2001. The PS3 significantly expanded on the original idea. It added multi-voice pitch shifting, longer delays, even more ambient, almost ethereal effects.
Ah, the PS3 is legendary too.
Oh yeah, it quickly became a cult favorite itself, partly for its sheer unpredictability and sometimes wild sounds. A classic.
Okay, then what?
Then came the PS5 Super Shifter from 2001 into the 2010s. That one offered more accurate digital pitch shifting and classic whammy-style pitch bend effects. It was aiming for greater precision and versatility.
More controllable, maybe?
Perhaps, yeah. More predictable in some ways. And finally, the PS6 Harmonist. That's been in production since 2010, and you can still buy it today.
The current one.
Right. It introduced modern polyphonic pitch shifting, so it tracks chords well with intelligent harmony and detune capabilities. It provides really sophisticated, musically intelligent harmonies.
That's much more advanced tech.
Definitely. But if we connect this whole evolution back, the PS2, yeah, it seems primitive by comparison to its descendants now.
Sure.
But it was highly experimental for the time, and it remains remembered very distinctly as raw, glitchy, and creative. It really did kick off everything that came after it in that line.
Which brings us nicely to its status today. The material highlights its collectability. Why would a pedal, whose technology was pretty quickly surpassed even by its own successors, why would it become so sought after, fetching high prices now in the used market?
Yeah, it seems counterintuitive, doesn't it?
Yeah.
When newer, arguably more powerful versions exist. Well, I think this raises a really important question about the value we place on character over just, well, technical perfection.
Ah, character.
Exactly. The PS2 is now highly collectible precisely because it's one of Boss's most unusual and, crucially, fairly short-lived pedals. That gives it a certain rarity factor.
Okay, limited run helps.
Definitely. Its limited production run, combined with its reputation for that distinct, lo-fi, quirky pitch shifting. It makes vintage units really desirable for collectors, sure, but also for musicians actively chasing that specific authentic sound.
The sound you can't quite get otherwise.
You got it. While its successors certainly expanded the concept, offered greater fidelity, more features, the original PS2 holds this special place. It's the raw, glitchy, creative progenitor of the entire line.
Progenitor, I like that.
It's not just a pedal anymore. It's a tangible piece of sonic history. It represents an era of early digital experimentation where engineers and musicians were still figuring out what was even possible.
What a fantastic journey through the evolution of a sound-shaping legend. We've really seen how the Boss PS2 pitch shifter delay, with that groundbreaking combo of digital pitch shifting and delay, how it carved out this truly unique space in music. And its grainy and glitchy character, it wasn't a flaw in the grand scheme, was it?
Not at all.
It was a feature that inspired whole genres and countless artists to explore sounds no one had conceived of before.
Indeed. And its story, I think, really reminds us that innovation often comes hand in hand with imperfections. And sometimes those very imperfections are what spark unforeseen creativity.
That's a great point.
It's a powerful testament to the idea that sometimes the quirks and the rough edges are precisely what makes something truly special and enduring, gives it a lasting charm that kind of transcends mere technological advancements.
So for you, the learner listening in, The next time you hear those otherworldly, slightly detuned guitar textures in a song, or maybe that unique resonant delay that just feels like it's from another dimension, you might just be listening to the distant but incredibly influential echo of a Boss PS2. It's a potent reminder that even in this relentless pursuit of technical perfection, there's an undeniable charm and a lasting influence in those raw early experiments. What stands out to you from this deep dive? And maybe think about this. What creative limitations in other fields you think might lead to unexpected breakthroughs?